This is the Why the Hell podcast with Ty and Ken. And we are proud to say we are brought to you by thegamingcorner.org.
If you listen real closely, you can hear the crickets in the background. So that was actually a fitting opening for this episode. But what up, party people, listeners? I'm just gonna get right into it. We have a white guy on the podcast today. We are about as official as we are ever gonna get. Mr. White Guy, do you want to introduce yourself?
They call me White Tie. Not to be confused with Black Tie, who's I assume you're all familiar with on the show. But I'm flattered to be on the show with you guys today. Thank you for inviting me. I'm Tyler, by the way. White Tyler.
White Tie.
And then who is the Dominican Dream over in my right hand corner?
You know what? It's out here. It's me, Kenny, the Dominican Dream. Out here. You know what? I told everybody I hate Drake and I'm not gonna do the Certified Lover Boy, but I listened to a couple songs and I was like, oh my god, I hate him, but you can't deny him.
Certified Lover Boy.
We've been trying to get this man to say something positive about Drake for decades. Let's go.
Yeah, that's it though. You know, we don't.
Tom Brady tweeted about it too.
Tom Brady tweeted about it. I hate it. Forget it.
He was TB12 was mad he wasn't included on some billboard or something like that.
That's it. I'm all set. Brady tweeted about it. He must have said something good, something along those lines. I'm all set. I hate it now. Once again, I'll go back to it. Fuck Drake.
So my question to you, Kenny, is as this is more of a song for the ladies, songs for the sheets, songs to get you to think. Does this make you? Are you about to have another kid off this album? Like, should we be expecting?
No, not at all.
No. Okay. All right. Just had to ask.
No,
but you never know though.
You're not. No, 100%. I could guarantee it. No more kids for me. If I could, I've been contemplating a vasectomy.
Oh, dang.
Okay. All right.
But here's the reason, right? Who wants to deal with the baby stage? If you could create babies and have them pop out like Stargate out of the vagina, right? Where they're already in kindergarten, I'm all for it. I'll have another kid. We got. I was gonna say for a second there, anybody that watches the videos can see Black Tie once again as even though he upgraded his internet, he still hasn't connected hardwired. So from time to time, he still freezes.
You know what's wild? I don't even need the hardwire. I just completely forgot before this podcast to change my Frontier internet password to my Comcast one. So y'all about to be out here with slow dial-up unless y'all want to restart this whole podcast.
Nah, we're fine. We're good to go.
What up?
Yeah, we'll deal with your slow ass.
That's fine. You guys deal with my slow ass.
you need some internet to match your energy.
Exactly. So yeah. With that being said, I would say
today?
I was gonna say no. I was gonna real quick last touch on that baby situation, right? I would say if anybody's having babies out here, it's either one of the two Ties. I know White Tie got his whole girlfriend living with him, and Black Tie has whatever he has. You know what I mean? Yeah,
plant right there.
Girls all over him.
As you can see, I don't know if you can zoom in. I don't know if you guys capture that. Right there, there's a seed planted, that little petal right there. So, we're progressing.
That's your baby. I can't even have a plant in my house. I'm jealous.
Why not?
Because of my cats.
Have you not seen those monsters?
No, I don't think it has.
I just inherently thought all white people have at least one succulent in their house. I thought it was like a staple.
No bullshit. Tyler's is the first house I've walked into with no plants in it.
I would
Just
love
saying.
to. I would love to have plants, but the cats will just destroy everything I put in.
He's not lying because I one time was sitting there in just the living room just chilling, and these cats attacked my feet instantly.
I mean, I bring home a pineapple, and the cats start chewing on the pineapple leaves.
And these are huge cats. Like, I want to say monsters. One of the biggest species you can find of cats.
Yeah, just about.
I'm pretty sure my man lives with Simba, chilling in his living room.
Yep.
Just about.
But with that being said, we are jumping in, and today's topic of choice got chosen at the end of last week's episode. A little curveball got thrown out as we deemed it the Saturday morning cartoon bracket.
For legal purposes, all these cartoons didn't always come on Saturday morning, so we don't need nobody filing suit and be like, y'all be lying on this podcast.
Nah, it's all right because I'm gonna call out the ones that did not come on Saturday morning.
And here's my also
Points in my book.
My fine print is that it was Saturday and it was morning at some point in time in somebody's life when they saw these shows.
I like it. Just think it up here. Before we get into that, real quick, just to kind of tease that episode we got coming up. I finally found a conspiracy theory that I 100% believe in.
Really?
So we're definitely gonna do this conspiracy theory episode. I didn't think I had one, and then I was on the TikTok and I was like, oh, I 100% believe that. So we got to do that episode. But go ahead.
All right, so that'll be an episode for the later date. We already have people calling us questioning like, "Oh, Tyler got the first nod as the first guest of the show. I want my spot. I want my episode." I'm not saying the name, but Brother B was already in the lines.
Pause. I'm not naming names, but Brother B.
Brother B's jealous.
So we gotta figure out an episode for a topic for Brother B to get him on here, get him talking.
I mean, the topic should just be Brother B.
It should be
we don't need a topic.
The myth, the legend, Brother B. The intro, the prologue to the Chronicles of B. Crims.
Yeah, I was gonna bring it up.
It's just him interviewing himself.
You can just do a dramatic reading of the script.
Yeah. That would be hilarious. I should get together with Jose, put together 3 episodes of the Chronicles of B. Crim, right? Scripts. And we're going to sit here through an episode and read through them.
That's awesome. I'm here for it.
Oh, man. But let's lead off, right? So, you know, when this episode's done with the editing and everything, everybody's going to be able to see visually the 32 ranked, right, shows. We got shows from Sailor Moon, Hey Arnold. We got Dragon Ball Z, got slid in their gargoyles, some Doug, Batman Beyond, the X-Men animated show. We also got Pokemon. We got Chalk Zone, PB&J Otter, Street Sharks for all those people who never remember it, Teen Titans, and many other. We're gonna, if I remember correctly, we're gonna bring this down on today's episode all the way to the Sweet 16.
We'll do Sweet 16. We'll see how Sweet 16. Maybe we'll hit Elite 8, but let's shoot for Sweet 16, and
yeah,
we can hit the subsequent ones on the next pod.
Sounds good to me. So we're gonna start off with that first round. Heavy. I feel like this is a heavy hitter because you know what?
Oh, number 1 seed. Who would have thought?
Who would have thought? Sailor Moon number 1 seed. But whatever randomizer Tyrell used to seed this, threw out Sailor Moon, which is a classic, as the number 1 seed against what was deemed as an underdog, the main underdog, Hey Arnold.
The Cinderella of the tournament. So
Great shows. Just let me throw that out there.
Yep.
So who proposed Sailor Moon?
Tyler did.
Oh, I did. I had to.
State your case for Sailor Moon, and since I proposed Hey Arnold.
Sailor Moon. So Sailor Moon was a big part of my growing up because that was probably like the first time I maybe got a little chub. It's like, oh, Sailor Moon. Like, these girls are singing, they're twirling around, they're like, who are these girls? They got powers, and man. And also like I feel like a lot of the things on my list that I proposed for this bracket were all kind of like anime themes. I mean, I'm definitely a weeb when it comes to it, and Sailor Moon was probably one of like the first animes that I probably watched, but more so for like the cute girls.
The coming of age story from Tyler.
So before I attack Tyler's point, because I'm here just to attack, make sure that my seeds progress through the tournament. We're all familiar with Hey Arnold. It came out early 2000s, late 90s. I was telling Kenny earlier, I just feel like it's such a it was such a progressive show in terms of like it attacked like a lot of societal issues that you don't really see. You didn't really see at cartoons at that time. Like a lot of characters had a lot of like very significant social things going on. Even Arnold, he lived with his grandfather and his crazy whacked out family and his whacked out boarding house. And, for a lot of us, for me growing up personally, and not speak for other people, that was more reflective of kind of the chaos that surrounded me growing up. So that show for me just, felt like a personal gem. Plus the characters in it were great. You had Helga, Hey Arnold, football head. Oh my God, you had the kid with the can of the hair for the hair. The kid who just used to stand by you and breathe. And just you had the movie. So for me personally,
yes, kid.
That was one of my favorites. Yeah, exactly. That was one of my favorite shows. But to kind of attack Tyler's point, was Sailor Moon a great show? Or was that just our introduction into, what's that?
No, Sailor Moon was good.
I have to side with Tyler a little bit, because Sailor Moon, when you talk about like pioneer animes, right? That were able to bring anime and make it mainstream, Sailor Moon was up there.
Oh, this is a bias.
For sure.
Sailor Moon
was dealing with two anime heads here.
Sailor Moon was top notch up there, broke the barriers down for animes to be mainstream in the US. But Hey Arnold was good. But here's my thing. If Hey Arnold was so dope, why can't you remember more than just Helga and Arnold's name?
Real quick, we will move Sailor Moon on with no questions. If you could name two other characters, not you, Tyler, Kenny, outside of Sailor Moon.
Sailor Mercury, Sailor Saturn, Sailor Mars.
I totally forgot they were planets. Fair enough. Sailor Moon moves on.
Ding, 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 ding. Hey Arnold has been knocked out.
Damn. Well, good. I'm glad Sailor Moon's moving on, because I mean, Hey Arnold almost made my top 5 list, but there's just so many other shows.
Yep. All right, so we're moving on to the next matchup between 16th ranked Static Shock versus 17th ranked Rugrats.
All right, so
here's
a tie again, I guess.
Well, in a way, it's almost gonna lose, because only reason Static Shock was not on my list because it was already on Tyler's list.
Okay, there you go.
You got here's I'm not even gonna let Tyler start with the counterpoint. I'm gonna start with the counterpoint, right, for you, Ty? Here you go.
Okay.
Static Shock moves on based on just the merit, right? Here's the thing. This is why I'm arguing it, right? Check it. On the merit that this is a black superhero we were given on Saturday mornings. Black superhero. Didn't he have Exhibit, was it, at one point in time in one of the episodes? He was for the culture, Tyrell. For the culture. Static Shock.
It was new. Totally new.
Fresh, new, different.
Had a dope theme song.
Definitely a dope theme song.
Listen, Kenny. Right now, what's happening is you are being mystified by Tyler's white power, and Tyler has come and just brainwashed you.
You're the one talking about Rugrats. There's not a black body in that show.
That's wrong. The black girl with the black family.
Oh yeah, what was her name? I can't remember what her name was.
They relegate her to such a background character, people forget she was there.
Listen. You talk about Static Shock being part of the culture, how often do you see like designs where people are wearing like sweaters with 90 cartoons, 2000 cartoons, and things of that nature?
Oh,
And
you're
I've
talking
seen
about
Rugrats.
you're talking about the Proud Family.
Well, just Proud Family, all that. I have never seen someone out here rocking like, a dad hat with Static Shock on the front. So don't be out here telling me it's for the culture when most motherfuckers for the culture don't even remember Static Shock.
Listen. I'm gonna argue that who you be around ain't who I be around. You be
We
around.
are the same people.
You be around you be around white nurses.
This is your white friend.
Okay, he put Static Shock up.
This is ridiculous. The only reason anyone watched Static Shock is because it was on CW, and that's one of the channels of the 5 that actually worked on the TV.
Hey, maybe. That's my childhood, though.
This is ridiculous. This podcast is a sham.
I will give some points to Rugrats for sticking it through. They had tons of seasons. They had a pretty good video
they had
game.
A movie, They had a movie.
I gave you Sailor Moon. We're just handing you Static Shock too.
I'm sorry. I had a good list.
Static Shock is for the culture. I gotta cast my vote that way, Ty. You've been voted out on that one.
I didn't make the bracket.
All right, Static Shock wins that one. So here, Tyler put Thundercats up in the next one, and also he is also the one. So the next matchup is 8-seeded Thundercats versus what is blasphemous to me, the 25th seed Yu-Gi-Oh, because I'm biased. I have Yu-Gi-Oh moving on at least almost to top 8.
Oh yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh's got to go. But I guess like we have to clarify that we're talking about like season 1, like Yu-Gi-Oh Duel Monsters. We're not talking about like GX or like any of that other stuff.
We're talking about my boy Yami Yugi. We're talking about, I even had this conversation pre-podcast with Tyrell. We both agreed Yu-Gi-Oh has a strong case for them right away with just Duelist Kingdom. Right?
Yeah.
You start having that conversation about Pegasus and just as a villain, as a powerhouse, the swag Pegasus had about everything he did, even the way he talked to Yugi boy.
Yugi boy.
And then you got background villains like Bandit Keith who were about that life, who were about that action, boss.
You got some good character development with like coming turn a leaf by the end of everything.
Yeah, so honestly here it's tough. Thundercats, iconic show, but Yu-Gi-Oh, man. Yu-Gi-Oh takes. Do you disagree here, Tyro?
No, I 100% agree. I just think there should be at least somewhat of a case.
I mean, Thundercats was kind of a before my time. It was getting old by the point like I was like watching cartoons. It's like it was outdated by the time. Like I saw some episodes, but not that interesting at the time.
And no doubt, Mum-Ra was pretty dope as a villain, right? But he was, when you look at those old time villains, he was I don't know which one. I would love to take a look. Which came first, Mum-Ra or Skeletor, to see who bit off of who, right? Because they're like kind of inspired from each other, right? So which one came first, Mum-Ra or Skeletor? That'd be good to know.
Was Skeletor not he? Was Skeletor not?
Was He-Man, and Mum-Ra was Thundercats. So it'd be good to know which one, right? Which show dropped first, to know which villain inspired the other one. Because I feel like when you look at it like that, they're so similar that the uniqueness is taken from it. But there's nobody like Pegasus.
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh moves on.
Yu-Gi-Oh moves on. The next one, I think this next one's pretty tough. 9-seeded Powerpuff Girls, right? Who was that? Me that put up Powerpuff Girls?
I don't know who put it up.
Ty, can you confirm that? It was?
I don't remember. I'm pretty sure it was one of mine, but go ahead.
Oh, it might be one
I'll
of
look
Ty's.
while you talk.
It might have been one of the ties. I thought I had it on my brain. Maybe I had it, but I didn't write it down. Powerpuff Girls and Hamtaro.
Did you guys watch any Hamtaro first off? Because I feel like this was kind of obscure.
I did watch Hamtaro as a kid.
Oh my god, it was like one of the cutest shows.
It was a cute show, but
again, anime.
It is an anime, but this is the thing, we allowed it. I mean, animes are cartoons, and Hamtaro was in that time frame of our childhood. But Powerpuff Girls had bangers, right? Some powerhouse villains. You get me? My boys, the Gangrene Gang. You know, my boy Mojo Jojo. You can't go wrong with that one. That one was a when Cartoon Network was needed a powerhouse cartoon, they dropped my boy mixing that sugar and spice and everything nice and dropped Powerpuff Girls. And that was it. You know, I was like, damn, I'm a boy. I was a little boy, and I was like, damn, I'm rocking with these 3 Powerpuff Girls. I don't care. Let them judge me in school. I fucks with them. You know, Bubbles, Blossom. So any objections there? Because honestly, Hamtaro, definitely an obscure pick. I remember it. Definitely a cute little hamster anime, but not enough firepower there to overthrow Powerpuff Girls, at least in my opinion. And I think you could be honest with that, Tyler.
Yeah, I mean, when I picked my top 5, I was definitely thinking about like what impacted me the most growing up. But I mean, as a whole, I might have to give it to you with Powerpuff Girls. They have a lot more diversity in characters. I mean, Hamtaro is a show where, I mean, there's not really any villains. There might be like a cat, but
well, for Christ's sake, Powerpuff Girls were tackling issues we didn't need to be seeing as a kid. One of the villains was a tranny, and we couldn't register that as a kid. Homeboy was a tranny.
Yeah, what was his name? Him,
exactly.
Yeah.
Him.
And we're not gonna bypass the fact that Mojo Jojo was a nigga.
Yo,
for all intents and purposes,
a gangster.
Mojo Jojo was a black guy.
Yeah. For however you want to push it, but Powerpuff Girls moves on.
I can't comment on that.
Hamtaro has been booked, sent packing. Oh man, this next one is tough. You know, not tough because honestly,
first upset.
Yeah.
Well, not first upset. The first true upset, not dictatorship upset.
So we got coming up the 4th seeded Pokemon Ash Ketchum, who never ages, versus. I feel like this is a sleeper pick, and I guess the randomizer thought so too. 29th ranked, codename Kids Next Door.
Low key, great show.
Very low key. You want to know how low key? I used to sit and play the Flash game on the computer. I used to go to CartoonNetwork.com with my AOL dial-up, just to go play some codename Kids Next Door on the Cartoon Network website. But Tyler, you put a Pokemon, so we'll let you go first.
I put a Pokemon?
Yeah, Pokemon was on your list.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm looking at the bracket, to be honest, and I'm seeing some things that were on my list and some things that weren't on my list, and some things I would have put over some other things. So just saying.
Listen, we got this list were sent into Tyrell. However, the man put together the seating, ixnayed others. At one point in time, I think he was almost at 60 cartoons. Had to break it back down to 32. He was going through a tough time. So let's be nice to him.
But Pokemon, though, I mean, we all grew up with Pokemon. I grew up watching the anime. I'm pretty sure I was watching Pokemon before I was playing Pokemon. So it's just one of those cartoons where you know all the characters, you know what's going to happen. You got the 151 Pokemon, and it's just an overall great show. Again, it's kind of got like anime roots, so throwing that back in there.
It does, but Pokemon literally came on any point in time of the day, right? I remember seeing Pokemon, being able to watch an episode right before walking to catch the bus. Like in the morning times before school. I would sit there right there. Oh, the bus is arriving at 7:45. I'm at 7:25. Who's that Pokemon? Meowth.
Who's that Pokemon? It's Pikachu. It's Clefairy. Fuck.
But all right, so in a way, not really to counter argue, but me and Ty had a conversation about it. So when you take Pokemon away and you look at Pokemon as the cartoon show, right? Not the massive giant that was spawned from it, not the video games, not the trading cards, none of that. The cartoon show. When you look at it, it was a weak cartoon show after maybe probably the first season. After Ash goes through those good episodes. He has some good episodes. The Charmander one, the Squirtle Squad, you know, when he's dealing with Mankey. You had some great episodes in that first 30 episode like branch. But after that, it's kind of a weak show as a cartoon show.
I mean, if we're only talking about season 1, which is like the original 151 Pokemon.
Yeah.
There were some ups and downs to it. I will give you that. If you're talking about Pokemon as a whole, I mean, I think there's a lot more ups than downs.
That's the thing, you know, with Pokemon, unfortunately, when you're that good of a franchise, you got to get handicapped. We can't give you in the argument the video games and everything that comes with it.
Oh, absolutely not.
Because if not, we'd be ranking Pokemon as a top champion right now, right off rip.
I wouldn't call him a top champion,
but it would be difficult to argue it against all the other ones with Pokemon's the brand that it is and the franchise that it is. So, but Codename Kids Next Door, dope show, right? I definitely was all about it. I love that show. Great show. But it didn't have longevity either, right? So it was.
I feel like it went on for a while.
It went on for a decent amount of time. I don't think it has, if I'm correct, no more than about between 60 to 80 episodes, maybe. No more than that. A lot of the episodes got repeated after a good amount of time. I might be right.
It wasn't one of those shows that ran deep into the seasons, I believe.
Yeah. Can you confirm this, Tyler?
I'm seeing how many episodes there were.
So, right now it feels as though Ty is the hanging vote here. You know, to decide, swing the fates between Codename Kids Next Door, which had a good ensemble of cast. It felt like they were your peoples in your block, but they were just smart and had gadgets, you know. And
I don't think you made much of a case for if I'm gonna decide to side with Codename Kid Next Door. I need more of a case than just shitting on Pokemon. Excuse my language. Pooping on Pokemon the show.
Well, it's tough. I you know, looking back on it, I thought Codename Kids Next Door was a dope show, but it really didn't have too much impact other than being entertaining when it first came out and being one of the main ones for Cartoon Network at the time in the afternoons when you got home from school. So it was one of those that you're like, okay, Codename Kids Next Door was coming on at 4:30, so you knew when it was coming on, just catching it. But both shows, it's tough.
Codename had 80 episodes, but it played from 2002 all the way into 2007.
Yeah, so 5-year run, 80 episodes, a lot of repeat episodes and things.
That's a long time though for a cartoon like that.
It is. It definitely is. It did have some good highs, but it also had some lows. I really don't have too much of a case here, you know, with this one. Other than just nostalgia and not really feeling the Pokemon show after the first season of it. So
I mean, I will say Codename Kids Next Door is a good Cartoon Network show. Is it the best Cartoon Network show?
It is not.
I don't think so.
Yeah, no. But it's definitely not top notch of the Cartoon Network shows. For me, that's coming later. And let me look at the bracket, make sure Tyrell also didn't clock me for that one. Get rid of my boy. No, he did not. So my boys later on, I believe the top Cartoon Network show is still later on. Remember, Cartoon Network show, not Toonami or Adult Swim. Cartoon Network show. Even though this one did end up on Adult Swim for its last season, but that's neither here or there. But my boys later on in the bracket, and I will argue him to the death. All right, so here I can live with whatever the pick is. Ty, what is your call?
So I want to be petty and choose Pokemon just because I feel like your case for Codename Kids Next Door was trash. The fact that you didn't know that it had as many episodes, you didn't really name anyone's name. I feel like you weren't really too invested in this show.
Here, I'll give you all the names. Number 1, number 2, number 4, number 5.
You keep setting yourself up in these situations where you talk about people's names and they end up being numbers or planets.
But as an overall show, I think it's not really much of a debate that Codename Kids Next Door is a better show. I think season 1 maybe of Pokemon probably had a lasting effect on us as more of a childhood memories. But yeah, we'll move Codename Kids Next Door on to the next round.
Wow.
Hot
We
takes.
will move on to the next part of the bracket. What we
It's
get?
gonna get smacked in the next round.
So we have the
Chalk Zone
next
Go ahead.
matchup is right. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles versus Chalk Zone.
Yeah, so I had Chalk Zone with Rudy Tabooty and Snap and whatever the other girl's name. Solid show, super creative. I thought it was like one of the coolest things at the time. This kid's going around drawing circles and chalkboards, jumping into the chalk world. He can draw whatever the hell he wants and make it come to life. I just thought it was like a really innovative show, and the characters themselves were, I thought, well voiced, and they had some good development, and the episodes are kind of like all over the place, and they always had some type of like conflict that they had to like, oh, we got to go in the chalk world and solve this problem, and they're jumping from like chalkboards to chalkboards like in the real world, and I thought it was super cool.
So I also agree with you. I loved Chalk Zone growing up. I thought it was one of those underrated shows on Nickelodeon. And every time I bring it up, people are like, what? But dude, I was like, Kenny mentioned it earlier, and I was like, Chalk Zone. But and Rudy Tabooty, I love that name, by the way.
Yeah.
But let's cut to the chase. Let's not even waste time. This is not really much of a battle. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was a banger. In every aspect of the word, and every aspect, of the word. So, let's not even flirt around with an upset here. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles moves on. There's not much of a debate.
I mean, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles get old at the time.
What?
Yeah, the animated cartoon, it was losing its legs, and
we must point
had
out
a couple episodes.
We must point out the age difference between us two, myself and Tyrell and Tyler. By the time Tyler may have been catching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, it might have been on the last leg, but we were catching it at its prime.
The only episode I remember of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I think it was like one of the first episodes, but it's when the Rhino guy he's doing something, they're like drilling or some other shit. He's like, it's all I can remember him sounding like, because it was like the rhino and the pig, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm on the fence here, and I think that this right here is just Tyler lashing out because Pokemon and Hamtaro got knocked out. I have to decide with Ty here. I thought it was no debate.
Where's Ty?
Black Ty. There was no debate here.
Okay, because you said you were on the fence, and I was
Teenage
like,
Mutant Ninja Turtles. Teenage Mutant Turtles completely destroys this battle. They were moving on the moment this battle got decided by the seed gods.
Yeah, Rudy Tabooty could kick the turtles' ass, I bet. lure him into chalks.
Cowabungas. All right. Next up, we got the seventh
This
battle.
is a weird ass matchup.
We have maybe the most obscure matchup possible. PB&J Otter versus 28th seeded Street Sharks. Here we have, so here's where it gets interesting, right? Because Tyler never watched Street Sharks. Whereas in, I finally found one of the main things me and Tyrell have in common. We both watch Street Sharks and we fucked with it heavy.
Oh, 100%.
And I once again I told Ty, I was like, yo, when I try to explain Street Sharks to people, I talk about Street Sharks as being the Doug version of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. These sharks were handing out the hands. Like, you had people turning into hammerhead sharks, great white sharks. you had them all turning into different types of sharks. You have the four brothers turning into four different types of sharks. I think one was like a tiger shark. I forget what the fourth shark was, but you had four different brothers turn into four different sharks. Everybody was into different things, but it all kind of like the sharks were supposed to fit their mold and what kind of person they were. Who put a PB&J Otter?
So listen,
Not me.
listen, and we came up with this list. There wasn't a lot of research on my end, and as I'm going back, I was like, wow, there's a lot of shows I left off this list that should be here.
PB&J Otter though.
Hey, listen. Let me make the case for PB&J.
Come on.
So PB&J Otter made this.
This is a no contest.
100%. So for my real ones out there, PB&J Otter had a lasting effect on me, and it's because PB&J Otter had this one song, actually two songs. The theme song was a banger, but anyone who's a real one knows what the noodle dance is. And when you
Yeah, I do.
on Saturday mornings, one of the things that like you between like Roly Poly Yoli, you know, that whole Disney Playhouse area time when you're real young, one of the shows was PB&J Otter, and one of the things that they did was the noodle dance. And I just want like 5 seconds to just play this banger for y'all real quick.
Mm. Oh no.
My real ones out there will know what the noodle dance is and be like, yo, it's a
Oh,
concept.
get out of here.
If you go up to a random person on the street and say, do you remember Street Sharks? 3 out of the 10 people may say yes. The other 7 will be like, what type of racist things are you doing? Are you doing shrooms? Like, is this something you've seen on a drug trip? Like, what are you talking about? So
Jeez,
I
I
think
would've-
we have an upset here.
Nah, I don't know. But I would have picked Clifford the Big Red Dog. I would have picked Caillou. I would have picked so many other little kid TV shows over PB&J.
Let's go, Ty. Go with Street Shark.
I used to
Go
like
with
Ty because we
Street
shared the
Shark.
same.
Yeah, I gotta go with Street Sharks.
But you don't even know what Street Sharks is.
Street Sharks, move on.
It's not PB&J Otter.
Four brothers turned into sharks and destroying people. That's all you gotta know. That's a TV show Tyler would have been down to watch.
I just know they look like Rampage characters, and that's cool enough for me.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank
Wow.
you.
Another this is out of control. This
All
is
right,
out of control.
so this next one,
Hold on, time out.
Okay.
Time out, pause. My real ones out there, if you're listening to this and you also remember PB&J Otter had the banger of the songs, please just comment and just let
Yeah.
people know about this travesty.
If you guys can do the noodle dance back at home, send us a video.
Send the video in so we can include it. Noodle dance. Is that the noodle dance?
What, the noodle dance is whatever gets you a noodle.
All right. We're moving on to what I believe is definitely a banger of a battle here.
Oh
We got
yeah,
the
for sure.
eighth battle between the 12th ranked Rocket Power and the 21st ranked Teen Titans. And this is not
Dang.
the little animated goofy Teen Titans. We're talking about the OG Teen Titans show.
This is not Teen Titan Go. This is Teen Titan. That's it.
Yep.
Ooh, this one's tough.
Man, that really is quite a matchup. You got a couple teens. You got the West Coast teens surfing, and then you got the city teens saving lives.
The craziness is they're both West Coast teens, you know? Like, they're both on the West Coast, just some be surfing and shredding, and the other ones be out here just saving the world.
Some got swag, some don't.
You know, even though I say that my man's Beast Boy always got swag from the beginning.
Well, Rocket Power, you got the woogity woogities. Yeah. You got the what else? What else comes from Rocket Power?
Lame-o.
Yeah, lame-o. You got sand in the potato salad.
I got a lot of Nickelodeon people here. That's what I'm noticing here. You know what I mean? No love for the Teen Titans. Listen, Teen Titans had some.
Somebody didn't get Nickelodeon on their cable box.
I had the black box side, so I had all the channels.
Okay, fair enough.
You know, for all my people in the hood, y'all know what black box I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I still don't know what Street Sharks is.
But I mean,
Wow.
Teen Titans though. I mean, I watched that a lot.
Yeah,
I watched it from the beginning.
Fire show.
Robin leading the gang to Cyborg, Starfire, Raven,
Beast Boy.
Beast Boy. Yeah, Beast Boy was nuts. He was the Ben 10 before Ben 10.
Yeah, Ben 10 was like, yo, whoever that character is dope, and we're making a whole show based off of him, but with aliens.
Pretty much.
So we mentioned the culture earlier, and I want to keep in line with this culture argument.
Oh,
What show did more for the culture, Kenny?
Teen Titans. Teen Titans had a black superhero.
Culture you referenced earlier.
And I just told you once again, Cyborg, black superhero, right there.
Wow, we are just. This is so basically this is an anime favorite podcast. You
What
guys
you
didn't
mean?
tell me this.
That's not an anime. That's a cartoon show.
This is it's practically anime.
Nah, I wouldn't call it anime.
It's not. It's not an anime. It's a cartoon. It's American animation.
Big enough.
So, but wait a second. Who put up Rocket Power?
Drafted in this draft.
What happened? You drafted it?
Yeah, I think Ty did.
So how are we siding? What's the votes? What's the votes? I'm Teen Titans.
Am I the deciding factor?
I think you are Ty, the deciding factor.
Man, this is so tough. Because Teen Titans, I mean, obviously you got the fighting. They're fighting people. The
amazing
superpowers,
villains.
and that's all cool.
You
Rocket
get
Power.
Deathstroke
You
in
got
there.
Rocket Power. You got just kind of like the laid back, chill dudes. They're surfing. They're skating. They're woogity woogiting. They got their Uncle Tito.
Let me give you the reason
Tito.
why. The reason why Rocket Power should move on. Just hear me out, Ty. Twister. Twister is the sole reason.
Yeah.
the show should move on.
I mean, I thought Sam was a pretty cool character too, though, because like he was some fat ass kid who he just like moved to the shoreline and he's like, I can't do anything, and then these dudes just like picked him up and taught him how to surf.
But Twister just bought the drip to that show. The drip in that show is made by Twister.
If you can tell me what the girl's name was, I'll move it on.
Reggie. So we're moving
Alright,
on.
cool.
Let's go.
Wow. Wow.
go.
Oh my God.
Easy money sniper. We'll move Rocket Power.
What was the dad's name?
You didn't ask that. That wasn't part of the deal.
Damn. All right, we're moving on. Next battle. Even though that was some finagling, some people collusions, I'm gonna call, but it's fine. Next battle, 9th battle between the second seeded, my boy Captain Planet. He's He's a hero. Yo, against Ozzy and Drix. This is a low key battle right here. Not high key, right? Because Ozzy and Drix didn't go on for too long, but it was spawned from a very popular movie that came out, right?
Yep.
From Osmosis Jones. And if I remember correctly, unfortunately, Ozzy and Drix was not voiced by our main man from that was able to voice Osmosis Jones, my boy Chris Rock.
Yeah, that brings it down a couple pegs.
It definitely brings it down a couple pegs. And you got
this matchup. This matchup's interesting to me because we're talking about like a planetary level, and we're talking about like a molecular level.
Exactly. So we're talking about the saving the planet, curing the planet, and then we're talking about keeping you safe from those hepatitis C bad guys inside your bloodstream. And the guys trying to give you the cold, the common cold and the flu. Ozzy and Drix were out there saving you and keeping you healthy and safe. But my boy Captain Planet, he was out here uniting all kinds of racial groups. You know what I mean? Everybody had a ring. You got a ring. You got a ring. He was doing it definitely for the multiculture. You like what I did there, Ty? Not for just for the culture, but the multiculture.
There is. But I digress.
But my argument here is that as good as Ozzy and Drix was, right, as a show and that spawned from the movie, definitely the quality went down a bit once they didn't bring over the same actors to voice it. And because Captain Planet was just iconic. He was out here trying to get you to plant trees, save the ozone before Al Gore was talking about, climate change and global warming. Captain Planet spawned Al Gore. Okay? Al Gore watched Captain Planet and decided to go look into climate change. That's a fact. That's a Snapple fact.
I think that's a bit of a stretch, but
what? That's a Snapple fact if I've ever heard one. Al Gore was inspired by Captain Planet. And
Al Gore is Captain Planet.
Oh, I never said it, but have you ever seen Captain Planet and Al Gore in the same room? No, you haven't. So you never know. You never know.
Well, I think I would notice a big blue guy if he showed up in a room.
You never know. Just saying. So here, like as I was saying, right? It was all about the friendship and coming together and being one for the planet, for the environment, for the world with Captain Planet. I think that conquers, being healthy, because as we know, as an American public, we are not healthy. We are obese. So Osmosis Jones and Ozzy and Drix didn't really do too much for us, but we out here at least still planting trees. Thank you, Captain Planet.
Can you tell me what the power of heart is?
The power of heart was the black guy.
Was he black? I thought he was like
a Middle Eastern, maybe.
Was like yeah, like Hawaiian or something. Or
nah, I thought he was black. The power of heart.
I thought he was. That's the black guy. No, the white kid was fire. You can't remember who was who.
I'm gotcha. I'm putting it up. Power of heart. Oh no, power of heart was. Which one was that?
It was like the Asian kid.
It was the Asian kid. Yeah, Power of Heart was the Asian kid. Nope. But still, one of them guys. Mai Tai. That's who the Power of Heart was. Mai Tai.
Yeah, Mai Tai.
Oh, man.
All right. So I feel like we should just go ahead and move Captain Planet on because nobody in the world remembers Ozzy and Drix was a thing.
Perfect.
Oh, I remember it was a thing, but it's not as good as Captain Planet.
Exactly. And here we go. This next one's like a no-brainer here, but I'm gonna entertain this next battle between the I'm not sure how they got seated 15 Animaniacs versus my boy. Give one little theme song. The champ is here. The champ is here.
Yeah, here. Can I just
Samurai Jack.
So I had one other cartoon on my list that I think would make a great matchup for this. so if we just like took out Animaniacs and then we ended up putting in Jackie Chan Adventures.
Wait a second. He X'd out Jackie Chan Adventures?
It's not on there yet.
No. I told you to make sure it was in there. I can't hear you. I don't know what you did.
We'll do. We're doing a quick substitute. Animaniacs blew out of Achilles, so we're calling in the practice squad.
The
And we're
practice.
gonna do a quick audible real quick. So it is now Samurai Jack versus Jackie Chan Adventures.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know. I didn't see this in the
let you
rule
start off
book.
since you're so excited about it.
Didn't see this in the rule book, but I guess the 7 god over here, Tyrell, can just sub out seeds after he makes mistakes. But all right. So it's the Animaniac. So I guess no more Animaniacs. Now my boy Samurai Jack still got to take down Jackie Chan. And let's hear it.
The Jackie Chan. Are you kidding me?
It wasn't.
Like if you guys watch Jackie Chan Adventures, it was probably one of like the greatest. Like it's a great introduction to Jackie Chan for kids who didn't grow up watching all of his movies and everything, because a lot of his movies are older.
I saw Rush Hour before I saw Jackie Chan Adventures.
well, it really showed you, and it was cool how they did it too, because they introduced the cartoon with kind of like a real life, like here's Jackie Chan talking to you, and the cartoon itself, it's got like Jackie, his grandpa, and his daughter or niece or whoever she was,
niece and nephews, I think.
Yeah, and the grandpa's always like, Jackie, atta! And it's just kind of like a cool representation of like who kind of like Jackie Chan was, and like things he's done kind of like in all of his movies and stuff like that, and I thought it was really cool.
Nah, not having it. So we're gonna start off with my boy Samurai Jack. All right, one of the most fire intros for a cartoon. It had a banger of the beat. I'm almost certain that I believe if we look it up, RZA did the beat for Samurai Jack. That's how fire it is, right? Don't quote me that. That might be another one of my Snapple facts. That might not be facts. But if I could guess, I'd say RZA did it. But here we go. Samurai Jack gets transport. He's giving the hands to Aku. Listen to that bad guy's name, Aku. Giving him the hands, right? Beginning of the show. Aku's like, wait, you won't kill me now, Samurai. And transports him to the future, where Aku rules supreme over the land. And now he must avenge his lineage and his family. And he spends the whole time displaced in time as a samurai. Listen to that concept. Displaced in time as a samurai, right? Trying to honor his code and his family while taking on horrors and perils he was not imagining at the time were even possible by this dark magic that is Aku. Just off of the premise. Look at that. That's just the premise.
See, my argument here is Samurai Jack. I'll admit it. I have never really actually watched it. And that's because I believe Samurai Jack truly only has a cult following. And the people who love it absolutely love it. And that's all it is.
Nah. We're gonna sit here, right? We're gonna sit here. Jackie Chan Adventures did not get a proper ending, right? And they didn't care to end it. They ended it. They were like, you know what? Let's move on. No more episodes. They didn't give it an ending. But Samurai Jack was so dope. They were like, you know what? We didn't give it an ending, but we're gonna bring you back because you are timeless. You aged like wine. You just got better throughout the years.
Well, I think Samurai Jack was a little before its time. So
100%. It was.
Yeah. So I mean, right now, if I were to go back and like rank it, it's like, okay, yeah, cool show. But when I was growing up, didn't do it. Didn't do it for me.
Because you were growing up on Hamtaro, Tyler. We were on different levels at this point in our lives. You were rocking with sweet little Hamtaro. I was out here slicing people with my boy Samurai Jack. Samurai Jack was for the real ones out there, right? Samurai Jack was what introduced me into bloody animes, right? Let's see the animes where people are getting cut down because my boy Samurai Jack. I wanted to see more of it. Give me the violence, okay? And then he got brought back and they were like, you know what? Samurai Jack, you were always gritty, dark. We're going to bring you back, but not to Cartoon Network. We're going to bring you back to Adult Swim where you should have lived from the beginning, but Adult Swim wasn't around when you first aired. We're going to give you the grittiness that you deserve. That man came back. Once you watch that show, if you go back now, right, it was so ahead of its time. You watch that show now and you watch it through its new season with the ending, completely worth it. Don't give me the clock time. The GOAT is talking. Okay? Samurai Jack. Oh. Be it all, end it all. Yo, I shut this podcast down. Yeah, like Denzel in Training Day if he doesn't move on.
I think your other host might have some words to say.
So let me hear it
before I kick everybody off the podcast.
We got a whole couple matchups to get to still, so I'm gonna make this nice, short, and sweet. I'm with Tyler. I think it has a cult following. People who like Samurai Jack love Samurai Jack. And I kind of want to go with you because I'm pretty sure it is the better show, but I'm going to give you the reason why it's not going to move on. And it's simply off the fact that you said RZA made the theme song for that. And when I looked it up, RZA actually made the theme song for
Jackie Chan Adventure.
For all intents and purposes, Afro Samurai, which is like the enemy of Samurai Jack fans. So with that being said, the fact that you didn't know that and you made that critical mistake, we are moving on Jackie Chan Adventures.
Oh my God.
For the upset. And we're going to move on in the bracket. You can fight me later. I'm sorry. But you got to know your facts, man. You can't make a critical mistake like that. Otherwise, your fanboys might jump on.
We'll keep it going. What we got next? We got. I'm not even paying attention. Doug, Batman Beyond. I'm not making a case. This is Batman Beyond we're talking about. I want to hear it. Stake your case for Doug. I don't got to make a case here. It's Batman and it's Batman Beyond.
Big nose. So I don't know if Tyler, were you old enough to remember Doug?
Oh, yeah, I watched plenty of Doug.
Oh yeah, see, so for me, Doug was like my first introduction to like more mature cartoons. I don't know if you call it mature, but it was like when you stop watching like, you know, your little kiddie PB&J Outers and whatnot. You start looking at you know, what's going on in the afternoon type shows. And for me, I always love Doug. You know, you've got Skeeter, Patty Mayonnaise, Doug Funny, his
Patty
dog,
Mayonnaise,
or Chop.
Any day now.
You know, and it also was another show with some low key music bangers, banging on a street line.
Oh yeah,
drumming on a trash can. I'm just saying.
Oh yeah, that was a banger.
You're from the suburbs, Tyro. That's the only thing I can explain here.
Which one of you guys have Batman Beyond?
Me.
Yeah, that's
all right, Kenny. Go ahead and explain Batman Beyond.
Do I have to explain too much? We're talking about Batman's protege here, right? In the future. Out here, you got old Bruce Wayne watching over him. Once again, with the Rogues Gallery, Batman has one of the greatest Rogues Gallery. Doesn't matter if it's regular Batman, Batman Beyond, does not matter. They are bangers. Brings back the Joker in the future, a version of the Joker. You can't go wrong with that. I know you might have never seen Batman Beyond. I don't know if Tyler watched Batman Beyond, right? This is a show that was what encapsulates when people talk about DC's being the goats of comic animation. This is what they're talking about, the Batman animated series. I didn't put that in there because that would have been unfair, right? We're talking about Batman Beyond, which was a GOAT tier for DC animations, right? Heavy hitter that was coming on those Saturday mornings, and I can tell you anybody that was watching Saturday mornings was not missing Batman Beyond. and that suit was fire, all black with the red logo. Come on, look it up, Ty. Look it up on Google Images. You can't tell me that suit was not fire.
So, Ty, what is your thought?
I mean, it's really based on personal opinion, right? So,
100%. We're just out here to make sure that our own personal interests are held.
I've never been much of like of a superhero guy. So, I mean, if I were to pick between Doug and Batman Beyond, I gotta go with Doug and my girl Patty Mayonnaise.
Hanging on a street light, jumping on a trash can. Let's go.
I'm sorry, Kenny.
Let's move on to the next one. We got Cyber Chase against Gargoyles.
Everybody watch Cyber Chase?
I think this should be like a minute-long discussion. No.
State your case, Ty.
I mean,
I still want to hear the case because we are going about this in a fair manner, unlike the way Tyrell likes to deal with things. I want to hear the case.
I mean, if nobody watched Cyber Chase, I mean, Cyber Chase is one of those shows growing up. I mean, this was a younger based show. So, I mean, Cyber Chase Gargoyles, it's two totally different kind of like ends of the spectrum. Cyber Chase was kind of more of like an educational based show, where it had, I think it was like 3 kids and this like robot bird that would like go like into the cyber world and like solve problems and go on adventures and things like that. But it was just one of those shows that growing up as a youngin, kind of caught my eye. It was like one of those things like I would always turn on like either in the morning or like after school, when I got off the school bus and things like that. So that's why I kind of like put that on my list, because it was a cartoon that was like always there, like Saturday mornings, as well as kind of like getting off the school bus. And it's like, all right, throw on PBS and throw on Cyber Chase.
So I've never heard of the show. I just looked it up, so I can't even like give it shade. So I'll just strictly make the case for Gargoyles. I'll be honest with you, I just think people like the name Gargoyles, because I don't really remember much of the show besides there was like some lady who probably should have been in bed or like married, or I don't know, doing anything else besides talking to stones that come alive at night. But yeah, I don't really remember much of Gargoyles. There was always that dude with like the mullet slip back hair. And I was like, how do you get gel in your hair if you just came from being a stone? But sure, whatever. So I'm not opposed to moving Cyber Chase over.
No, I'm opposed. And here, here's the thing, right? This is why whoever's made it this far in the podcast, right? If you made it this far, understand the two I'm dealing with here. As you can tell, one man put in Gargoyles from his list, right? But didn't really remember Gargoyles too much. And then we got what was that? Cyber Chase, Connect 4, Chase, whatever it was. But my mans can't even make the argument. You have one of the greatest voice actors behind Goliath in Gargoyles, in my boy Keith David. Iconic. Well, of course, Tyrell doesn't know who Keith David is. Keith David.
Most black people don't.
What? Wrong.
Black people don't have access to look up voice actors.
Wrong, because black people realize that Keith David is the voice of Goliath in Gargoyles. He is also the voice of Spawn in the Spawn animated series. He is also the voice of some of our top characters in video games. He is the Arbiter in Halo. He is also my main man, the captain in Mass Effect, in the Mass Effect trilogy. Keith David is the culture in the black community when it comes to voice acting. So Gargoyles is moving on because Cyber Chase, Connect Chase, whatever it is.
young kids getting educated while watching a cool cartoon.
Fuck no. This ain't educational.
Podcast.
If these kids are watching this podcast for their cartoons, their parents did something wrong. So Gargoyles moves on.
I would have picked a different cartoon if I knew that was the case.
So we have the Battle of Toonami coming up right here.
These ain't Saturday morning cartoons. Get them off the list.
Battle of Toonami right here. Dragon Ball Z versus Mobile Suit Gundam Wing. Here, honestly, we know which one takes it here, right?
Just move Dragon Ball Z up. Just move it up.
We know which one takes it here, but this was unfair. I didn't even get a chance to make a case for Mobile Suit Gundam Wing. My boy Hero and the Wing Gundam.
Time out, Kenny. Huh? Come on, Kenny. I'll give you 15 seconds. Let me set the timer.
That one, I don't need to argue that one. We already know Dragon Ball Z is moving on. It's fine.
Don't argue. I want to hear 15 seconds of you talking about Gundam because I never watched it.
You never watched Gundam Wing? So Gundam Wing,
ready?
Bam. Check.
Ready? Go.
Gundam Wing suit, Mobile Suit Gundam Wing starts off with the main character Hero coming down on an espionage mission. Straight gangster. He's being shot down in his mobile suit. Pilot jumps right off. Oh, come on. 15 seconds
so
is
let's
nothing.
move on to the next part of the pod.
Okay, here we go.
Bracket.
Here we go. Here we go. All right, next battle: Recess versus Arthur.
I mean, if we're just like kind of like cutting ties with the educational young kids shows, I mean, Recess moves on.
Wait, time out. This is a battle. This
is not a battle. Are you kidding me? Recess?
Who put up Recess?
I did.
And who put up Arthur?
Arthur? This guy. Arthur.
Okay, just letting you know. Just that you know, because this podcast is based off of pettiness as well. Pettiness fuels this podcast. Recess is moving on no matter what you say.
What?
So state your case. State your case if you will, but the pettiness is what chose me.
We're not gonna talk about Binky Barnes, my boy. What with the? It spawned countless memes. Come on, how many memes does fucking Recess have?
I don't know. I haven't checked.
Wow, so we're just out here.
You got your 15 seconds. And time is running.
We were rating ability.
In my heart, authors moved on. We'll continue though.
Yeah, in my heart, my boy moved on too, Samurai Jack. But you know, your bracket is not your heart. So, as I said, the petty life chose me. I didn't choose the petty life.
All right, let's take this next one seriously because I think this next one has affected us all at some point. So let's get into the next one. What's the next one, Kenny?
So I was waiting to get to this next one, right? Next battle is Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and X-Men. So I'm not sure if my co-host really sat here, thought he was gonna sneak this one by. The Mighty Morphin Power Rangers are not a cartoon show.
See, I was thinking that too. I was like, am I forgetting like an animated Power Rangers? Because
you're right. So since that was my pick, let me get another one.
Oh, so you guys get to do another? The ties just get to substitute? No, you messed up. X-Men moves on. Get with the program next time. Next battle. You put my foot down. Next battle. Hamster Runner.
His name is not Hamster Runner. It is Homestar Runner.
Oh, that's even worse. Curs and Cowardly Dogs moving on.
I will. Okay, so it's Homestar Runner versus Courage the Cowardly Dog. Homestar Runner wasn't like a TV cartoon. You had to go to homestarrunner.com and watch their cartoons, and they had some funny ass shit on their website.
Another one. Did it air on TV? No. Get out of here.
Nobody said TV.
Man, I was wondering. I was like, "Yo, Kenny, have you seen that?" I was like, "I'm not gonna ask because Kenny probably watched it."
I was out here like Hamster Runner. Tyler really liked watching a lot of hamster shows as a kid. Hamster Runner, Hamtaro, like fine. My God.
Let's move it on, and then what we'll talk about going forward in next week's podcast. We have Sailor Moon versus Static Shock.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Versus Powerpuff Girls.
That's easy.
Kids Next Door versus Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Street Sharks versus Rocket Power.
Okay.
Captain Planet versus what do we
Jackie
substitute?
Chan Adventures.
We have Doug versus Gargoyles, Dragon Ball Z versus Recess, and then X-Men versus Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Thank you. And for the last recap, those last two battles got moved through quickly because once again, I'm joined by two people who try to sneak some by, one off of a internet website and the other one a live action show, trying to sneak that in as a Saturday morning cartoon. I don't care.
I mean, I can't even believe you guys put Courage the Cowardly Dog on here.
Let's see.
What?
If-
That's a great show.
If
Right, Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy, way better.
listen, talk to your boy the other Ty. He got your list. And your list had your top 5. Not sure how Grim Adventures of the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy didn't make it because that was GOAT tier. I wasn't really paying attention to the bracket prior to hopping on here. Once I saw Jackie Chan Adventures didn't make it, Grim and Mandy didn't make it, I'm out here seeing that he was trying to set up these battles kind of in his way. It looks like. I'm even questioning the randomizer at this point.
I do want to take a few minutes just to go over some shows that didn't make the bracket that you guys grew up watching that you just want to quickly list real quick because we missed a lot of them. We're not going to hit all of them, but you guys got any shows that you want to honorable mention real quick?
100%. Zoids.
Okay.
Zoids, to me, definitely needs to be mentioned. Liger Zero was a badass. Out here, just what? You gotta go back to the cargo ship. Gotta switch out the armor. Which one we going with? That blue armor used to be fire. You just have rolled up on the other Zoids like took you down. And those were one-on-one battles out in the middle of the area, just fights, dog fights out there. That's Zoids for you.
Any others?
Well, we definitely got Grim Adventure, the Grim Adventure of Billy and Mandy, since somebody wanted to X them out for some reason out of the bracket.
What else did I have? I had a Goof Troop, was the Goofy Show. Tiny Toons Adventures, which was like the little baby Looney Tunes. Darkwing Duck was also on one of my honorable mentions. Code Lyoko is another very obscure one, which was kind of like it was another anime type of show, and I think it was kind of like an RPG type of world where they went into a cyber world, and I feel like it was kind of like Sword Art Online before Sword Art Online was kind of a thing. What else did I have? Nope, I think that was everything I had.
And what about you, Ty?
A lot of Disney shows mentioned it. Hater. But we had Proud Family, Kim Possible. We had American Dragon, the Roadsters, Bonkers, Mucho Libre, and
what? I forgot about that one.
Yeah, Mucho Libre was good.
God.
Bonkers.
With Flea?
Yeah, with Flea.
Another one that I thought of when we were talking about the Samurai Jack versus Jackie Chan was the Shaolin Showdown. Is that what it's called? With the Shaolin monks.
With the ball joint.
Yeah.
Shaolin Showdown.
Man, there's definitely a lot of bangers that should have made the list. I do recommend, right? So anybody that makes it through the podcast, anybody that wants to reach out, you guys know how to reach out, right? You could catch me at Kemba Not Kaneki on Twitter. I'm always down to listen, and we can even do sometimes, go through your bracket list, and you guys can break it down. Have it run through Twitter. Let you guys break down this bracket of your own. Send in your submissions. Let us know who you want on the bracket instead of the two hamster shows.
There was one hamster show.
The hamster runner, the Hamtaro,
The internet only show.
Hey, people who know Homestar Runner will appreciate that.
You know what? I'm gonna go to Twitter and I'm gonna ask, and I'm gonna be like, anyone know what Homestar Runner was, or 8K parentheses Hamster Runner, and see what anybody says. I might even try to look these up on YouTube and see what they were. Homestar Runner.
Well, yeah. When you guys come over, I'm gonna throw it up on the TV. We're gonna watch some Homestar Runner.
I actually got something I gotta do here at the apartment. So
I was like, yeah, I'm not showing up for game night if we're watching Hamster Runner. Oh man,
that this whole bracket is null and void. So I'm glad I put this at the end of the podcast because we forgot to put Avatar: The Last Airbender on this list. So you're all at fault for that one.
I could live without that one. I caught that one afterwards. I didn't catch that as it was airing.
That was another one that was like before its time.
Yeah.
Avatar, our friendship just took a.
You drop Avatar now and you watch it now, it's fire. But then it really wasn't getting the appreciation it should have gotten.
Puff used to watch that live, bro.
You said you and Mr. Puff, right? So it begs into question what y'all were doing while you guys were watching it live.
You have a whole whatever panel of something in your background right there blocking the exit of your basement.
No, that's the entrance to another room.
To another dimension or Chalk Zone.
Not Chalk Zone. Chalk Zone lost its battle. Okay. So you can leave it where it is in ruins, in the death, in the graveyard, right? Where you guys left my boy Samurai Jack.
Information, bro. You know your voice actors, but not your theme songs.
Just letting you know, all right?
Where can people find you at, my guy?
I mean, typically, probably the best place to look for me and what I'm following is at Level With You on Twitter. That's probably the best place for people to find me.
There you go.
I don't really use my personal Twitter, so
there you go. Yeah, there you have it. And if anybody didn't know, Tyler is the executive producer behind our video game podcast, which it might be in the graveyard as well. Not sure. That hasn't been a conversation either. We'll find that out soon enough.
Or Juice coming back.
Hey, listen.
Yeah, who knows?
I've held off on a video game podcast of my own, waiting for Double With You to come back. You know, seeing what was happening there, I thought, you know, if I could come back with my boys for the video game podcast, I come back. But if it's in the graveyard and it's done, never to come back, then can't help it. Can't bring the gang back by myself.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. We'll figure something out.
But lead us off, Ty. Get close to your camera because sometimes you're cutting off. Give us that wrap up.
You guys know where to find me in the trap, in these streets, doing work.
FarmersOnly.com, Tyrell Brown, at Tyrell Brown.
Fans at Farmers Only.
He likes it when you yee-haw and woo-hoo.
Yeah, but no. So my personal mental tip of the week is do that one thing that you've been putting off. Start it. Just get it done. Even if it's small, big, large, medium, whatever, doesn't matter to you, matters to someone else. Just do it. So yeah. Thank you, Ty, for joining us. It's been a pleasure.
Hey, my pleasure. Love being on this.
I'm gonna have you back on the second part to be the third party person because can't trust Kenny after we just nicked his favorite show. So we will see.
Yeah. Getting through that Sweet 16 will be a little bit quicker. So,
you know, just saying out here, the petty life chose me. I didn't choose the petty life. All right, remember that. You gave me some BS excuse for no Samurai Jack. Guess what? We out here dropping the hammer on all these obscure things now. I ain't playing no games with nobody, holding nothing back. Call me the Suge Knight of cartoon brackets. Okay, West Coast motherfuckers.
You back is that white panel, so you might want to figure out how to move that so you can leave.
All right, we out of here. Thank you for checking us out, and we will be back next time with some more Saturday morning cartoon brackets. We out.
Later.